Percival was the witch doctor of the map room, a man who performed miracles of division from the comfort of a velvet chair. He had never seen the dust of the plains or the salt of the delta, yet he held the life of a continent in his ink-stained hands. In the windowless London sanctuary, the world was nothing more than a series of abstract shapes and convenient colors. The map was his patient, stretched out on a mahogany operating table. It was a vast breathing body of history and heat, now reduced to a two-dimensional ghost. Percival prepared for the remote Caesarean, a surgery of pure abstraction, intending to cut one life into two without ever hearing a heartbeat or feeling a pulse. He brandished his instrument, a rusty nib, a relic of an empire that preferred order to life. It was a tool of indifference and encrusted with the dried residue of 1,000 bureaucratic deaths. To Percival, it was merely a pen. To the world below, it was a jagged blade poised over a collective throat. Without a single anesthetic of empathy, he began the incision. The nibs crashed against the paper, a harsh metallic sound that echoed like a scream in an operating theatre 3,000 miles away. He drew a line through the forests he had never seen, villages he had never walked, his hand guided only by the clock that was ticking too fast. Jenkins arrived with the afternoon tea, the steam rising like a phantom from the porcelain. He watched as Percival's hand moved with a jerky, uncertain rhythm. Percival didn't look up. His focus was entirely on the paper flesh, oblivious to the fact that his surgery was splitting kitchens, graveyards, and hearts. The ink bled into the fiber of the map, a dark, spreading stain that looked like a deep internal bruise. Percival watched the blot grow with the detached curiosity of a scientist observing a failed experiment. To him, the blood was merely a smudge on the record, a minor inconvenience in an otherwise tidy procedure. "Done," Percival announced, wiping the rusty tool with a silk handkerchief. He had severed the land in record time, delivering two fragile, bleeding entities into a world that wasn't ready for them. He felt a sense of relief, the kind a man feels when he finishes a difficult crossword before lunch. Percival reached for his hat and coat, his work finished, and his conscience clear. He walked away from the table, leaving the map to fester in the quiet office. He was the witch doctor who had completed the surgery, but he would never have to live with the scar, nor would he ever hear the cries of the patient he had so carefully butchered from afar. Jenkins leaned in, his magnifying glass catching the light and casting a circle of clarity onto the chaos. Under the lens, he saw the lines slice through ancient wells and ancestral homes, a jagged scar that would never truly heal. He saw the microscopic tragedy of the witch doctor's handiwork, a partition that ignored the very shape of the earth. Jenkins stared at the mahogany table where the ink had soaked through the paper and onto the wood like a deep, dark wound. The silence in the room was heavy, thick with the weight of millions who would now wake up on the wrong side of the line. The map looked less like a document and more like a crime scene.